I'm sorry, but the shopkeeper won't come down any lower. The crossbow is 10 gold pieces. Take it or leave it.
Oh, that's bullcrap!
Yeah, we're gonna take it all right.
Come on, you guys. You can't go around murdering innocent shopkeepers.
You wanna bet? Fat Cat doesn't like shopkeepers.
Yeah, besides which, we've left a trail of corpses around this town, and you haven't done anything about it. In a world without consequences, we're gonna run wild!
Now listen here, young whippersnappers. Didn't your elders teach you any manners? Killing innocent people is rude.
Holy crap! Didn't we just kill him a few videos ago? And now we gotta listen to him lecture us?
Our bard must have used Revivify on him, that traitor!
What are you talking about? There's no bard in our group.
Yeah, no crap, moron! Do you see a gaggle of little children plaguing our party?
Oh, then it must have been the cleric!
None of us are clerics either, young man. However, when I was younger, I once met a cleric so tall that...
Shut up, old man!
I have an idea. Since someone betrayed us and brought the old man back from the dead,
Yeah, I'm listening.
let's spare the shopkeeper and go all murder-hobo on the old man instead.
Welcome to the DM Lair. I'm Luke Hart, and I've been a Dungeon Master since high school. On this channel, I give practical Dungeon Master advice that you can implement at your game table. Today in the Lair, we're going to talk about the time-honored tradition of murder-hoboing. and it's gonna be fun. Actually, this is something that frustrates lots of Dungeon Masters, so I'll be breaking down 10 reasons players might be murder-hobos, and how Dungeon Masters can deal with them and fix the problem. Now, before I jump in, I wanna let you know about a Kickstarter I'll be launching in September. I've noticed a decided lack of Fae-themed adventures and official published modules. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. My module, Into the Fae, is designed to take a group of 4 to 6 players from levels 1 to 5. It will include lots of new monsters, NPCs, magic items, and even spells, all Fae-themed. New cool stuff for Dungeon Masters and players to use is good, right? Also, and I'm really excited about this, it will feature my new quest point mechanic for leveling up, an alternative to milestone or XP leveling. It basically allows players to take their own path through the module instead of following a fixed storyline. Gone are the days of feeling railroaded by a module. And of course, we'll have some cool Kickstarter exclusive merch items like dice bags, t-shirts, and tactical tokens for you all. So yeah, look for that in September. All right, back to murder-hoboing! This is gonna be a fun video. Now, there are 2 types of murder-hoboing that we need to talk about today. First, you have the group of players that just blasts its way through a dungeon, killing everything it finds, looting bodies, and maybe using Speak with the Dead later to ask questions. They don't really care too much about the story, they just want to fight stuff and take their things. The second type of murder-hobo is the group of players that delights in killing anyone and everyone they come across for any old random reason that pops into their beautiful little heads. The shopkeeper won't negotiate? Off with their head! The old man can't tell you the vampire's weakness? He must be holding back and in league with the vampire. Off with his head! The young boy just played a prank on you, dumping a bucket of slop off the roof on your head. He's behind it all. Run him down. So, for the first one, killing everything in dungeons could just be a style of play. Kick down doors, kill stuff, ask questions later. This might just be what the players enjoy doing, so there isn't necessarily anything wrong with this. It is one way to play the game, and if groups are having fun playing the game this way, who am I or anyone else to tell them that their fun is wrong? However, there is a huge caveat to this. Not all players will enjoy that style of play. It lacks depth. It's two-dimensional. You see, some players want more than that. So if that's all the game consists of, they won't enjoy it and they'll probably want to ditch the group. Dungeon Masters, listen up. Because there are different types of players who enjoy different things in the game, so there is a need for variety in your game. There needs to be the opportunity for players to approach the game differently, to do things they enjoy. You know, like talk to things in the dungeon, and maybe, just maybe, resolve adventures with methods other than death and destruction. So if your group generally blasts through a dungeon, murder-hoboing everything in its path, ask yourself, do all of the players want to play the game this way, or a couple of the murder-hobo players in essence stealing the other player's fun. So that needs to be talked about and remedied. Now, for the second type of murder-hoboing, killing ordinary NPCs such as shopkeepers, blacksmiths, and stable boys, this points at a much deeper issue in the group. Once players get into this sort of murder-hoboing, there's other stuff going on, and a lot of it is probably the Dungeon Master's fault. That's right, this channel is about accountability and ownership, fellow Dungeon Masters. We're not just gonna I can't talk. That's right, this channel is about accountability and ownership, fellow Dungeon Masters. We're not just gonna throw stones at murder-hobo players. If their behavior is our fault, we need to fix what we're doing wrong and improve our games, not just blame the players. All right, here we go. 10 reasons players are murder-hobos and how to deal with them. And some of you are probably like, Luke, you took 20 minutes to get to the top 10 list. What's wrong with you? Yeah, sorry, there was some forward matter that needed to be addressed. You know, calm down. I know I'm gonna get comments with people like, it took too long, just give me the list. Number 1, lack of consequences. This right here probably accounts for 80% of murder-hoboing that goes on in D&D games. Simply put, there are never consequences for the player's actions. They kill innocent townsfolk, nothing happens, no posse hunts them down, the mayor does not hire another powerful adventuring group to bring them to justice. Nothing at all, like no consequences. They indiscriminately slaughter everything in a dungeon and miss out on a key piece of information that helps them in a future quest. Oh, my poor players, I guess I'll just have to figure out how to give them that information in a different way. We need to be more heartless. Come on, Dungeon Masters, put on your big boy pants already. Stop coddling your players. This is 100% a Dungeon Master issue, and we can be better than this. Actions need to have consequences. Town guards arrest them. No one wants to hire them. Merchants refuse to do business with them. Mercenaries hunt them down. The mayor hires the big bad to take out the player's characters. I don't care. Use your brain and creativity. Figure it out. I've rarely had problems with murder-hobos, and I think that this is perhaps the biggest reason. In my games, actions have consequences, and I'm not afraid to make the unpopular call and introduce short-term pain for the greater good. Number 2, trolling. You know this player, the one who just wants to see the world burn. They don't care about your game, they don't care about the other players having fun. They just want to blow crap up. Players like this get one warning from me, then they were gone. I have no tolerance for that crap. Go ruin another group's game. Number 3, players are not engaged or invested with the game and the NPCs in it. This boils down to something very simple, Dungeon Masters. Your game and NPCs suck, and your players don't care. I sound like a big jerk saying that, but I mean, come on, we have all been in games that suck and we don't care about them. Let's be honest. You're not doing enough to make your game exciting, dynamic, interesting, and fun for your players. Your NPCs are boring and lifeless. You need to level up your game. Well, Luke, you might ask, how exactly do I do that? Okay, like I have an entire YouTube channel full of videos about this very topic, how to become a better dungeon master. I don't know what else. What more could you possibly want from me? But I know that's a cop-out answer, so here are some quick suggestions. Have more interesting NPCs that interact with and react to the character's words and actions. Don't just read the read-aloud text in modules for NPC dialogue. Holy crap. Improvise a little, roleplay, don't be so dull. There is a reason robots are not dungeon masters. Use your brain, use your creativity. Use that read aloud text as a guideline for inspiration, but don't let it be all you say or have the NPC do. Dude, like if all of your NPCs are as dull as bricks, of course your players aren't going to care about them. If you want your players to be invested in NPCs and actually give a flying crap, you need to breathe some life into them. Next, tie the characters' backstories into the game and the world. Give the players a reason to care more about the world and the game. Finally, just ask your players what would make the world and story and game more exciting and interesting for them, and then implement those things. Number 4, you have a new player on your hands. Hey, there's nothing wrong with this. Hey, there's nothing wrong with this. A player new to the game is trying things out for the first time. It's a brand new world full of possibilities, limited only by their imagination. Is it really a new player's fault if killing an innocent shopkeeper is one of the first things to pop into their head? Well, maybe, but let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, shall we? The solution here is to help the new player learn more about the game and how things work. They need to understand that you're simulating a real world and that in that world, there are consequences for their actions. So if they go around killing shopkeepers or dropping tactical nuclear bombs on dungeons, bad things might result. And Dungeon Masters, if this isn't the case in your game, you need to go back to point number 1 about consequences. I'm not going to rant and rave about new players. It is not their fault, but it is the responsibility of the Dungeon Master and the other players to introduce them to this awesome hobby of ours and show them the ropes. Let's explain to them that if several goblins approach you with swords drawn, fighting isn't the only option. You can talk, intimidate, bribe, and even run away. Number 5, every NPC in the game betrays the characters. Fellow Dungeon Masters, can we have a quick heart-to-heart about this? Stop doing this! I mean, holy crap, why is this even a thing? Why do we think that we're being so incredibly clever by having almost every major NPC the players meet ultimately betray them? Oh yeah, they're gonna meet this NPC and then blah, 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 but he's actually a bad guy and then he's gonna betray them. Oh, it's gonna be great. No, it's not gonna be great. Like, what do you think players are going to do when the NPCs are all treacherous backstabbers? They'll preemptively strike before their Dungeon Master can screw them over. I just don't get why Dungeon Masters even think this is cleverness. It's not an act of genius, no matter what stories on Reddit and Facebook would have you believe. And ultimately, it's lazy, if not just plain bad role-playing. Like, I don't know about you, but in the world I live in, not everyone around me is out to get me and looking to betray me the first chance they get. At least, I don't think they are. So yeah, please, let's just stop doing this. Number 6, the character is evil. Okay, like right out of the gate, Dungeon Master, why did you even allow the evil character? Like, if your players are not mature enough to understand that not even evil people walk around the world killing everyone they see, like, if your players are not mature enough in their role-playing to be able to role-play an evil character well, why did you even allow it? And if your player is mature enough in their role-playing and declares they want to play a psychomaniac that travels around the world, offing everyone they come across who looks at them sideways, why did you say yes? There are 2 reasonable options here. First, players are mature enough to roleplay an evil character without destroying the game. Or second, Dungeon Masters have the guts to tell immature roleplayers no. It's that simple. It really is. Number 7, the experience point leveling system. Come on, folks, let's face it. When characters gain levels and more power by killing things, guess what they're gonna do? If you guessed kill things, you're right. But Luke, you say, the rules say to award XP for overcoming an encounter, and that doesn't necessarily mean the players need to kill the enemies. And of course, you're absolutely right, in theory. But in practice, at the game table, we all know that for most groups, 90% of the time, the bad guys end up dead. Now, we could quibble about how to keep experience points leveling, but make it incentivize murder less, or we could adopt a different system altogether, such as milestone leveling, which is of course what I have chosen to do. I actually have an entire video about XP leveling versus milestone leveling if you want to check it out. Also, in my upcoming Kickstarter, I'll be introducing a new quest point system that helps with this too. Look at me, all sly and slipping in plugs for my Kickstarter into the Fae. It launches in September, by the way. Oh, that's so sleazy. I love it. I don't know if it's sleazy, lame, cheesy, cringy. Number 8, players think D&D is like an RPG video game. Now, this is a fair misconception that Dungeon Masters and other veteran players are going to have to help newer players, or perhaps experienced ones, get over. We've all played games like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, or even Elder Scrolls, where most of the time, just running through the game and murdering everyone solves most of your problems. So, when we have players who think like that, we need to make an effort to show them the endless possibilities of D&D. We need to demonstrate to them the potential depth and meaning the world and the NPCs in it can have. This can be done through a conversation, but also through showing them in action during the game what this looks like. For instance, offer the players some quests where the target must be delivered alive or the reward is worth less or nothing. If the players just go through murdering everything, make the resolution for peaceful solutions just as interesting and desirable as the combat they avoided. Consider using positive reinforcement and rewarding your players with inspiration for thinking outside the box and getting around combat. Number 9, your players are being petty. The shopkeeper isn't willing to negotiate the price, so they kill him. The dungeon master isn't giving them enough treasure and magic items, so they take out their frustrations in the game by sowing chaos. The dungeon master is stealing player agency, so the players lash out by murdering the DM's precious NPCs. I don't know. Who knows what's going on that causes some of this behavior? But the solution is a conversation. It's time for a heart-to-heart with the players. Figure out what's going on and why they're doing that. If it's something bad that you as the dungeon master are doing and that becomes clear, then fix it. But if it's just poor behavior on the part of the players, then they need to stop. Number 10, too much talky role-playing. Come on, there's only so much social interaction and talking that some players can bear. Dungeon masters, if you're not providing enough variety in your games and entire sessions go by with only social interactions, the talky bits of role-playing, some of your players may be getting bored out of their minds. I mean, I don't know, it depends on your group. That might not be a true statement. Your group might love it, I don't know, but it's a possibility. And if they're not enjoying all of that, can you really blame them if they pick fights just to spice things up? I once heard a story about someone bragging that their group routinely spends entire sessions role-playing shopping and how fun and exciting it is. Now that might have been fun and exciting for her, and maybe, just maybe, all the players in her group loved it. Who am I to judge? But I can tell you one thing. If I had been a player in that group, I guarantee you I would have started a tavern brawl, tried to steal from the shopkeeper, or just plain stabbed a random person in the back. Because there is a limit to the number of dice towers I can build or the number of times I can check Instagram in a game like that. My point? Know your players and give them the parts of the game they enjoy, and almost always, variety is king. There are 3 pillars to D&D: combat, exploration, and social interaction. Chances are that if you put too much emphasis on one of them, the players will figure out a way to bring about the others, even if it means burning your world to the ground. Fellow dungeon masters, if you have murder hobos on your hands, talk to your players. Communication is key. Ask them why they're doing what they're doing. If you can figure out the cause of it, it can reveal issues in your game that you're not aware of. And if those things are ultimately your fault and due to how you are running the game, then you can take steps to fix them. Finally, if you've tried everything, even changing what you're doing in response to their feedback, and it just isn't working, well, it might not be meant to be. That player might just not be a good match for your group. There's probably another group out there that would fit their play style a lot better, and there's nothing wrong with admitting this and parting ways. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch for some chill live streams where we hang out, talk D&D, and even paint minis. Let me know what you do to deal with murder hobos in your game. Next week, I'll be talking about carrying capacity and my new revised carrying capacity mechanic. But until then, click right here to learn the pros and cons of milestone and XP leveling. And until next time, let's play D&D.